been seeing a lot of questions recently about how to get started into tricking so that you guys can eventually work up to do all those cool flips. First thing to do, subscribe so you can see all the new tutorials. Alright everybody, welcome back to Ninja Addict. So today's video is going to be all about introduction to tricking. So like I said before, I've been getting this question a lot. How do I get started into tricking? Now I would not recommend that you just go outside and try to chuck a backflip, because you probably end up getting hurt. Today's video, I'm going to show you some basic steps to kind of get into tricking a little bit, some basic moves to start your progression. Now if you already have a gymnastics or tumbling background, that's great, that's going to help you a lot. But if you're brand new, this video is made especially for you. Okay guys, so the first move we're going to start working on is a basic cartwheel. Now to some of you it might seem like the easiest trick in the world. Oh, you know, I can do this in my sleep with a blindfold. Well, technically your eyes are closed while you're sleeping. But to some of you this might seem like an incredibly difficult move, and it definitely might be intimidating for beginners. Alright, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do, and this part is actually really important, is we're going to pick a side to spin to. Now, although there's not too much twisting in a cartwheel, it's just a basic, like, 180-degree turn. And a lot of other tricky moves, like the corkscrew, the B-twist, the back full, there's a full twist with a flip. There's just something crazy going on, and this is a really good prerequisite for that. So the first thing you have to do is decide which way you're going to turn to for your cartwheel. I personally turn to my left, so it looks something like this. But some people prefer the right side. It doesn't really matter. This is how we're going to pick. So if you already have some experience, you might feel a little more comfortable turning to one side more than the other. But for those of you who haven't done anything, this is how you're going to figure it out. So all we're going to do is we're going to jump up and do a basic 360 in the air, like this. Now I want you to do that once to each side. So I just did it to my left, and I'll do it to my right. Okay, so now as you spun to each side, I want you to pick whichever side felt more comfortable. Whichever side you felt the most comfortable with and had the most control over, that's the one I recommend that you pick. Now of course you can always go back and change it. You just have to relearn a few moves. And I actually made a whole other video on this last week. You can go check it out. Link will be in the description. It's called Fixing My Flips. Basically, I learned to cartwheel on my right side when I was little, but all my combos are to my left. I twist to my left, so I had to relearn it. Alright, back to the video. So once you figure out which side you want to turn to, now we can start the cartwheel progression. So for me, I'm going to be going to my left. Any of you that go to your right, just mirror exactly what I do. So real quick, a common misconception people have about the cartwheel is that you start out facing this direction while traveling that direction, and you end facing that direction. That's not actually what happens. You actually want to start facing the direction that you're going to. And then at the end of the move, you'll end up facing backwards. That's pretty much cartwheel. So this is what we do next. Whichever side you're turning to, for me, that's my left side, that side is going to be your leading leg. Now, a basic cartwheel goes like this. You have your leading leg in front, and it looks like this. Hand, foot, foot. That hand, foot, foot sequence is exactly what you want it to look like, but more importantly, that's how it should feel when you're doing it. If you're not feeling that distinct separation between your hands and your feet, it should be like 1, 2, 3, 4. You're just feeling like clump, clump, then you're probably doing something a little wrong. So baby steps. This is how we start out. So put your leading leg in front. That's whichever side you're turning to. Just hop. All right, let's do it again. So lead leg in front. Hop. Boom. You just did yourself a crappy cartwheel. Alright, we'll do that one more time. Hand, legs, hop. You should feel the transfer of weight come from your legs to your hands. Don't be afraid to put your weight on your hands, guys. I promise they won't break. Well, maybe I shouldn't make that promise on the internet. Alright, so now that we can do that, we're going to start working on putting our hands down separately. We can still keep our legs slightly bent to make it a little easier, but we want that distinct separation between our hands too. We want it to look more like one fluid motion instead of hands, feet. So I want you to practice this. Hand, hop. You can keep your feet together for this, but put your hands down separately. Hand, hop. That's like a really crappy round off, but that's pretty much it. Straighten your legs out just a little bit more. Hand, hop. Alright, so if you can do that, you should be feeling pretty comfortable about your cartwheel so far. So really guys, just the last part of this is to separate your feet on the landing. Now the foot that lands first should be the opposite foot that you're turning to. I know that might sound a little confusing, but basically I'm turning to my left, so I want my right foot to land on the ground first. My left leg will be the last thing to touch the ground. So now if you try to separate your feet a little bit, it should look something like this. Foot. Alright, so we're going to do it again. Hand, foot, foot. So if you can do that, congratulations. The only thing we can do to clean it up a little bit more is to keep our arms and legs a little bit straighter. And if you do that, it'll look pretty much like this. And there's your cartwheel. So that's a super simple progression for a cartwheel. If you guys needed a move to start with, I highly recommend learning the cartwheel first. This is a great progression tool. You can use it to learn a lot of other moves like the aerial and the cart full and all sorts of good stuff. Now there's some other quick moves for you guys to learn if you want in order to be able to get into tricking. I definitely recommend practicing your rolls. If you want to learn how to flip, you need to get over that fear of going upside down. So your rolls are a great start. Just a basic forward and backward roll. Another great step you can do with those is to take it to a dive roll. So a dive roll is basically what it sounds like. You dive into the roll. And guys, the progression for that can be as simple as starting out from here and then moving it forward just a little. Get a little bit further out each time until you can like dive into it. Some other good tips to get started into tricking are kicks. You're gonna have to get used to being on one leg for some of the time if you want to learn how to do like cheat gainers and corks and stuff like that. Now it doesn't have to be fancy, but basic kicks like that. But a basic round kick or back kick, those will definitely help your progression as well. And the last thing, guys, really, just have fun with it. I mean, go make stuff up. Try to jump over obstacles. Like, if you can jump over stuff, getting used to that coordination of taking off with both feet, getting height in the air, that's a great start as it is, because that's what you need for flips. Alright, now if you do want some other pre-made tutorials, I already have a playlist of 4 other tutorials that I made. You'll see at the end of this video, I've already covered the front and back handspring as well as the front and back flip. Now I definitely recommend learning the handsprings before you do the flip. Thank you for watching this video, guys. I really hope you find this helpful. Please leave comments down below. Give me your feedback. What did you like about this? Is there anything else you wanted to see? And most of all, what do you want me to make tutorials on in the future? I have a few of them planned, so let me know in the comments below if you have anything in specific that you want to see. Alright everybody, I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a good one. Peace.